Hello everyone, welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival Reforged version 1.10. In today's episode, we're going to go over to the UCH research vessel wreckage over there and continue the storyline. So yeah, without further ado, let's get in here real quick. We want to go down to this level and we'll go grab into the seat real quick. And go over here to the research vessel or the UCH wreckage and see what's got going on over here. I know the mission at hand. We need to set down some otter miners. We have 6 in our inventory that are just not being used. I did. I found it. It's a UCH Heidelberg. It was full. It was with us when we left Earth. The ship hit the ground and hard enough to split it in half. I don't see how anyone could walk away from this alive. My observation of the ship hull using the cameras affixed to your suit conclude that the ship did not crash due to mechanical failure. The damage of the burn marks to the hull are consistent with high temperature plasma and explosive detonations. Are you sure the Heidelberg was shot down? Could it have been friendly fire or perhaps an ammunition magazine that floated on re-entry question? There must be record or logs or something that explains this. I'm sorry, Commander. The direction of the blast pattern and the melted steel indicate that it was struck from the exterior by plasma. Upon scanning, I have detected radioactive traces of a sample plasma. Same plasma on several other wreckage sites in the area, as well as structures near the polar regions. I have conducted that the structures near the poles are in all likelihood weapon emplacements, communication stations, or military facilities, or some sort of belonging to an unknown faction native to this region of space. There are many transmissions coming from their location, but nothing that I am able to decipher. Tell me everything you know about them, Ida. I'm going to make them pay. I'll leave them for now. That would be correct. That would be the correct decision, Commander. You are alone, unarmed, against what can be assumed a trained military personnel with superior weapons in a fortified position. The best thing you can do right now is to continue your search of the wreckage in hopes that you are not the only UCH personnel left in the system. Anything more is the work of politicians and diplomats, of which you are none, or neither. You make a pretty good convincing argument, Ida. I'm not saying we forgive them, Commander. It's just that it's impractical to attack them now before we understand the situation of their capabilities. I do as you say, Ida. Thanks for having my back. So what's next? I'm glad you agree with my assessments, Commander. As you are currently the only remaining UCH officer, my duty is to ensure you live and would have to shut down your suit's motor functions to prevent you from getting yourself killed. Can't she really do it though? Wait, you can do that? Shut down my suit so I can't move? Perhaps. It could be a joke. My humor parameter is currently at 100%. Don't make me regret changing your parameters. Alright, I'll take you at your word. Yeah. Continuing the investigation, Commander, your suit picking up a weak electromagnetic signal coming from somewhere near the rear of the ship. It may be a computer console. I have marked the location of on your display. Alright. So I want to turn off the thrusters. I kind of like this story to a degree. There's stuff here. Some glass. Multi-tool charge. You're in the beginning of the stage of the game, that would be a good find. Okay. Another multi-charge. Alright. Let me take a drink of my coffee before we start reading. That's some good coffee. Alright, I'm ready. The signal is coming from inside the container. You succeeded in forcing open the container from which the EM signal is emitting. As soon as you break the seal, a horrible smell meets your nose. Peer inside. Inside sealed cargo container is a human body wearing a UCH engineer's uniform as in an advanced state of decay. I got a body over here. It looks like an engineer by the uniform. The biometrics of the body matches one Sergeant Pallant, first class chief engineer of the UCH 011 Heidelberg. The electromagnetic signal appears to be coming from something inside the container with him. Investigate the body. Sorry about this, bud, but I've got to move you. Search the container. It looks like he climbed in here himself to protect him from the crash. A smart idea, actually. This container is completely sealed and lined with shock-absorbing foam. And if only the container had landed upside down with the ship on top of it, he'd probably be alive. There's some stuff in here, but doesn't look like it's going to be much use to him. Go back. Sorry about this, bud, but I've got to move you. Search his pockets. It looks like there's a credit shit in his pocket. I don't suppose any use to him anymore. Take the money. How much the money? I'm really sorry about this, bud. Alright. Search the body. I found the source of the EM signal, Ida. It's his PDA. It appears to still have some battery life in it, but the controls are locked and I can't access them. Now that the device is no longer inside a shielded container, I can remotely access the PDA and download the device log. Do it. I need to know what happened here. I have retrieved the personnel files and messages from Sergeant Pallant, PDA. Commander, I will run analysis and forward the decrypted logs to your PDA F1. You will be able to access them through the PDA logs tab via the mission task information and read them at your leisure. There's nothing more you can do here, Commander Stonefall, but there may be additional logs elsewhere in the wreckage. Should we, bury him? You are free to do whatever you want with the body, Commander. However, a proper UCH naval burial requires that you transport the body back to Earth, which you, at a later time, if you rejoin the UCH fleet, you can inform Commander Sergeant Pallant's body, and they can, if possible, retrieve the body for a proper UCH ceremony. Until that time, it is best to leave the body inside the cargo container where it will not be disturbed. I guess you're right, Ida. You close and relock the cargo container with Sergeant Pallant's body inside at a later time. Okay. 50 money guards. I have located Sergeant Pallant's personnel logs to your PDA, Commander. You can review them at any time. They detail the... I'm detecting a faint energy signature further forward on the ship, Commander. It appears to be coming from a source somewhere in the wreckage. Another dead body, maybe? What's down here? Ooh, sniper gun. That's hard coded in, by the way. That sniper rifle. Alright, what do we got here? The signal is coming from inside this container. You pull open the door to the cargo container to reveal nothing. This container appears to be empty aside from some scrap metal and structural plastic in the bottom tray. This container looks like a bust, Ida. Are you sure this is the right spot? Yes, Commander. There's a faint electronic signal coming from inside the container. You are unlikely to uncover another dead body in a pile of debris. Just the junk at the bottom of the container. I be danged. There's a logistics manager unit under the junk. I doubt this will be any good use to me. They are only used to record and manage cargo manifests, and the screen is cracked anyway. Ida, it's still a bus, just a LMU in sleep mode. I'll check somewhere else. Just a moment, Commander. Logistic units contain transfer records, access logs, and user notes. There's usually more information on one of the devices than most people realize. Please connect your suit to the data port on the bottom of the pad, and I will attempt to retrieve the logs. Connect to the logistic management unit. New device detected. Extracting. Logistic data, logistic logs, logistics text, successfully downloaded to temporary directly. Uploading temp files to satellite. Processing 100%. Transfer complete. I have received the logistic files, Commander. I have confirmed that there is additional data in the device logs, which you could review the files now, or should I send them to your PDA for you to read later? I'll read them now. Forward to my PDA. I will forward a copy of the data to your PDA logs, Commander. So what's next? Yeah, what is next? I can't remember the storyline from here. Commander, I've noticed several inconsistencies between the two logs and the wreckage of the Heidelberg. However, I'm not sure. What do you mean, Ida? What's wrong with the logs? Way too fast, by the way. I'm not willing to speculate at this point, Commander. I have marked the ship's constructor on your display. Please check the production logs next. It should clarify things for the both of us. Energy matrix. Whole bunch of junk. Alright, here we go. I'm ready. Are you ready? It looks like the power's out. I should be able to connect my suit's battery to the constructor console long enough to read the constructor's logs. Connect a cable from the suit's power supply to the constructor console. Charging. Battery status less than 1%. Remaining power 3 minutes 11 seconds. Keyboard active. Access the constructor log. Date 028-2473. Looks like they made 8 tents, which means there's at least 8 survivors. The rest of the stuff the constructor made was pretty standard stuff, supplies, communication equipment, a motorbike, and a pair of UCH rider kits. Standard supplies for a journey over land. It looks like they loaded up the rest of the ship's supplies, and salvaged what they could carry and headed away from the ship, which makes sense since this place would have likely drawn attention from the enemy if they hung around here for too long. So I guess we should be on the lookout for a pair of UCH raiders. I have already scanned the planet for any heat signature belonging to the UCH crew and vehicles, Commander Stormfall. There are no other members of the UCH Navy anywhere on this planet. However, what I wanted from the logs, aside from the confirmation of survivors, was a frame of reference for the inconsistencies presented in the other evidence gathered from the Ensign Emerson and Sergeant Palance logs. So have you figured out what the problem is, Ida? I'm 80% certain, Commander, the final piece of the puzzle, so to speak, should be found on the ship's bridge. There's a console there that is still functional. So you're telling me that a live console on the bridge and you didn't tell me to go there first? Why send me to go digging through the dirt of the boxes full of dead bodies when everything we needed to know is right there on the bridge? Because, Commander, that console is on the bridge is both unshielded and will draw a great deal of power. Because, Commander, that console on the bridge is both unshielded and will draw a great deal of power when it's activated. I have identified an unarmed aerial vehicle patrolling near your current position, and activating that console will undoubtedly draw their attention. It was necessary to avoid putting you in additional danger, Stormfall. If you want to discover the truth, that console is our only remaining source for finding the surviving crew of the Heidelberg and the rest of the UCH fleet. For good or ill, it is the only source of information left open to us, Commander. I leave the decision to you. Disconnect from the constructor. Alright, so we need to make sure our shields are on the ship before we go to the bridge. I've copied the constructor logs to the PDA, so I estimate the likelihood of the drone detecting the activation of the console at 86.5%. Material density indicate that the drone is equipped with large caliber rotary cannons. The aero drone appears to have a weak point, a glowing optical lens on the front that is not armored. A scoped rifle or heavy weapon such as a rocket launcher would be an ideal match. Yeah, our shields are on. Okay. Just checking. Alright, to the Bridge Council. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great on time. Can I get up in there? I found the console. I had to get ready to download the contents and tell me if the drone changes course. How did we get up in there? There's one way to get up in there. Are we ready for the thing? Take a drink of my coffee before we start the next dialogue. Alright, I'm ready. Alright, here we go. UCH-011 navigation console. Initializing boot up sequence. Operating on reserve power. Battery remaining 63%. Retrieving log files. Message 1 unread. Access restricted. Please look into the views of the message. Log in as Stormfall password. Incorrect username or password. Please try again. Dang it, I'm sure that was right. Log in as Stormfall. UCH navigational data access granted. Welcome, Commander Stormfall. There is one unread message saved on this terminal. Would you like to view it? Open the message. From Lieutenant G. Romley to all local, date 09082473 NA. The Heidelberg is lost. We've been lucky these past few weeks, but protocols have been closing. Patrols have been closing in once the forest fires caused the wreckage and died down. We can't stay here any longer, and Ensign Emerson won't last much longer with her injuries. We'll be leaving the first light in the morning, so I'm leaving this message for anyone who finds the ship along with a copy of all related data so you won't be going in blind. A UCH expeditionary fleet was pulled off course after initializing a long-range warp jump using the MS Titan's advanced warp drive to jump to Proxima Centauri, pulled into a fissure like a crackle through the fabric of the hyperspace that dragged the fleet over 2.5 million light years to the middle of the Andromedan galaxy and into the waiting arms of the Xerax war fleet. Several of our ships crashed on this planet after sustaining damage, and we've successfully made contact with several other groups of survivors, and we'll be heading to the neutral station on the far side of the planet where we organized transportation off-world from one of the local factions. We managed to compile a translation key for their language. Andromedan trade station that's attached to this message. Make sure you copy it. your suit's hard drive and set it to decompile. We were also able to compile a partial translation key for our attacker's language, Xerox Standard, but so far they have refused any attempts to contact. It's recommended that you do not engage their armed patrols and avoid the airspace around their installations, risk being shot down. We're already lost a hover bike over an older debris field while scouting to a random drone patrol, which was the last straw for us, so we're bugging out at 600 hours for the last time. They have their own issues with the Xerax, so it looks like we found a common goal that helped us get back with the rest of the fleet. Whoever you are, please be safe and come find us. We need everyone to make it through this and get home alive. Lieutenant Romley, acting captain. Copy the files to the suit hard drive. Commander, I've been analyzing the flight pathing of the patrol drone. I would like to inform you that it was just changed course and is heading to you in your direction. Roger that, Ida. Shutting down the console now. The drone is moving in on your position, and thermal images indicate that its weapons are hot. Where are you, little buddy? You're over that way somewhere. Get on, son. And that's why you do this mission with a shielded ship. Confirmed. Good job, Commander. The regular patrols have not changed their course, but their handlers will likely send reinforcements when they... It looks like we've got our first lead, Ida. Somewhere on this planet is a neutral station that our people use to get off world and regroup with the rest of the fleet. Yes, Commander. However, I was able to verify the cause of the inconsistency between the physical evidence and the logs left behind by the Heidelberg. From the level of decay of Sergeant Pound's body and the runtime of the logistic unit, I can confirm with 97% accuracy that 311 days, or just over 10 months, have passed since the Heidelberg. How could almost a year have passed for everyone else but me? Cryosleep, perhaps? Time dilation? Time travel? Cryosleep is possible, but there is no evidence caused by memory loss attributes to the cryosleep that warmly... wish they'd slow down a little bit. I remember everything up to Apollo Station. Beyond that, nothing. And you were saying I could have brain damage? You have passed all cognitive tests I have performed, and your physical and mental condition are monitored by your suit, both of which match previous medical assessments on record. So whatever the cause of, although more difficult than previously estimated, find the rest of the UCH fleet and be the fastest. At least we have something to start with our search. Keep me posted, Ida, on any achievements. Congratulations, you completed Chapter 1, Human Debris. Do we continue with the story arc? I think we do. We'll continue with the story arc until the mission is over. Alright. After uncovering the wreckage of the Heidelberg and the fate of its crew, you set off after the survivors, following a trail gone cold almost a year to the neutral station. They used to get off world and escape their Xerox prosecutors. Ida has identified a populated structure not far. Would this be the station the survivors used? Proceed. Commander, I have identified a cluster of structures that may have been the destination of the UCH survivors. I'm detecting fate energy readings from both beneath and the structure. Anything you can tell me about the place? I hate going in blind. The structure appears to be made primarily of wood and stone composite, consisting of a living quarters and agriculture facility. There are several patrolling groups on the edge of the defined territory and evidence of recent drone activity. The drones do not appear to be affiliated with the structures below, as they're making predicted communication to a facility near the polar region confirmed to be Xerox encampments. They seem to be keeping guard over the residents, making it more likely that they will be sympathetic to our plan. Interesting. Waiting for the next PDA message here. Coffee real quick. Where does she want me to go? No, seriously. No, village that way. Alright. Alright, before we go to the village, I really want to go set down some auto miners on some stuff. Just so we have supplies coming in. There's a medium iron over here. I wish they would slow down the reading process, you know, put breaks into it. So you don't have to, like, try to read the whole paragraph in less than a second or two. Hello, iron deposit. I don't need you, but I'm gonna put an auto miner down on you anyways. Whoops. Where's the iron node at? It's right there. We got 6 auto miners. One on iron. Come on, get up in the ship. So we have an iron deposit. Do we do them all on iron, or do we do... There's a promethium over here. Maybe we put it down on promethium? Don't worry, we'll continue the story arc here pretty soon. Wow, the ship is sideways. Alright, we're level ground. Hopefully we can get back up in the ship from this. Oh yeah, we can get back up in the ship from this. Or can we? Where's the door at? Right there. Dang it, Bobby. Missed the jump. Alright, let's let our jetpack fill up. So now we have a mineral extract, or an extractor on promethium and... So now we need silicon and copper. There's a medium graphite over here, but you can't mine that out. But there's small copper over this way. We'll go over that way and drop it down on that. Too bad the graphite you can't auto mine. Alright. Hello? Can I get out of the chair, please? Thank you. So now we have copper, iron, lithium. We're going to have a silicon deposit next. And then we'll head to the village, I guess. Another copper. Small silicon, I guess. Wow, it just got dark. Sorry about that, everyone. We'll set this down and we'll get headed to the complex. Or how are we doing? Actually, you know what? I think we'll pick up the story arc in the next episode, everyone. We'll continue the story arc. We'll give the auto miners time to run. Alright everyone, this is where I'm going to call this video, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you storm that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe for more daily videos. Okay everyone, take care, bye bye, and thanks to all my Patreons.